So I eventually got some stainless steel wiper arms just to get it to come higher up the screen, because Leanne was getting a bit miffed because it used to only come to about here. Fine for me looking over to the corner, but a bit of a pain if you sat there trying to watch going down the road. So this is done so that the arc of that just cleans the lens just in front of the screen in front of there, and a slightly bigger, heftier one to go in front of the driver. I don't like these, they're a bit naff. I'm going to have to get some others because they only push down a few spots about here. It just doesn't push on the screen at all, and you get like a rib of water that doesn't get cleared. So I'll go back to the ones that I've got on the series, which are essentially a bit more like modern ones where there's more pressure points. We'll see though. So that's the main camera that's plugged to the recording device, and then the one that looks down, in fact I've angled so that it just comes flush to here, really just to be able to see where the end of it's coming to when you're parking, looking straight down on the curbstones, etc. So this is the screen that I went for, of a reasonable sort of size, and you can choose between 3 different channels, so in other words 3 different cameras. It's pretty easy to change the brightness and so on the fly as well. Obviously most of the time you're going to just set it and leave it. The connection's pretty easy. It has a little arrow, I'm not sure if you can see that, but that arrow then lines up with a lead that you wire in and leave to plug into when it's needed. I went for this mount. It glues, well, it's got the 3M sticks, but I screwed it in as well just to give it a decent amount of rigidity. This, if you undo the little thing there, can point and slide around, and actually the screen's got a sort of shroud over it you can put on to protect it from glare with the sun. Can be a little bit fiddly to get it in because it doesn't line up necessarily where you might think, but it's pretty easy. So the connection to the other side, there's 2 arrows that line up. I don't know if you can see those there. The way I've rewired in the power is that the lithium ion battery goes just to the back. It's got no connections in here. The fan, which I've taken off where you see the hose going to and repurposed it as an extractor fan, that's powered from in the cabin, but in here everything is from the starter battery, including all these, and they remain live because it's powered just to the fuse box down there. So the first one is just the map light. That one then powers a rear view light, the power to the recorder, and the power to the screen. So the screen can give you the rear view and looking down, because the looking down camera at the back I've just got wired straight to this, and channel 1 is the one coming from the recorder. On the 101 ambulance there's all the 12 volt or 24 volt electrics for what was in the cabin, and behind there's power coming in from the batteries, and then fuses for lights and all sorts going to the back, and the power then supplies these switches. They're the few things that I've actually or the panels, the thing that I left in from the conversion. The reversing camera site has this as one of the options for the recorder. I picked it because it wasn't too expensive, and it's all I wanted was a view to the front and a view to the back. So this is the power lead. It's a 12-volt power lead, which actually came with a cigar lighter socket, and I just chopped the end off and wired it in there and put an inline fuse to the same amperage that it was in the actual cigar lighter, 3 or 5 amp now, I can't remember. And then we've got one lead that comes from a screen mounted camera, and then one lead comes from the rear view camera, which was in already, and I'd routed it all the way through the ceiling, and it comes around here and then run down there. I might tidy that up at some point in the future, but at the moment round to here and to here. The camera it's got a shortish cable, and then you buy an extension cable of whatever length you need to get from A to B, and then out of this box it goes out and to the screen. So there are actually 3 cameras but only 2 sockets on this device, because I wanted to record forwards and backwards, but the look down camera, which is really essentially just for parking, I don't really need that being recorded at all times, and I don't think it would add much to anything that you were trying to prove that someone had done something stupid.